Hi everyone, this is Cody Smith. Welcome to my channel, Cody Smith Pure Sport with Christ. I just want to let everyone know that today I'm working on my book, kind of mixing in my personal experiences with a lot of the, you know, medical and scientific information. And in chapter 2, I will have you an article from the um, basically the Birth Injury Justice Center about what cerebral palsy is and what it does and things like that. And I'll be mixing in my personal experiences when it comes to things like the therapy, the surgery, and whatnot. And in chapter 1 that I'm working on right now, I've given you a timeline as to what the whole disability community has been through throughout time, and then I get into my own personal story because I feel it's appropriate to kind of let you know, okay, the, the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed in 1990, but how did we get to that point? And there's a timeline that kind of spells it out for you. So I just want everyone to see that, and then I get into my own personal story, and I start off by telling you, you know, consider like the idea of a baby who's been placed into prison for life for something that was done to that child, and it is not the child's fault. And the child has to grow up learning to fight against the chains and restraints that were placed upon the child when they were placed in that prison, and learning how to take care of itself as it grows up, and slowly, one by one, acquire the tools to do so as the child grows up. Whether it be someone gives the child a physical tool to help them do the activities of daily living, or the child develops its own methods and tools, whether that be a mindset or whether that be, since I'm bound this way, maybe it would be less strenuous on me if I did this activity this way or that way, experimenting and learning, how it can trigger the right muscles and do things properly, because the way like CP works, at least in my experiences, I may be using the proper body part, but even though I'm using the proper body part, the wrong muscle may be triggered to do the activity, even though I know in my head how to do the activity and what to do and what should be happening. Maybe internally the body isn't doing what it's supposed to. So, I have to kind of retrain and rethink how I do things in a way that, doesn't put as much strain on my body physically, or, isn't putting, too much reliance on a very weak part of my body, and how do I work with that weak part of my body to strengthen it and enable it to do this activity in a way that won't put too much strain on me or hurt me and things like that. And that is what I'm kind of going through, and I'm kind of showing you what, I've gone through in a way, and giving you examples of my life hasn't been, all roses and sugar and sunshine, where everybody just takes care of me and I don't have to do anything but my life has not always been all pain and suffering and agony either. I give you examples of each. I've had my fair share of both. I've had good moments and bad moments just like anybody and everybody else on the face of the earth. And I give you examples of each so you can see. And I will go deeper into that as I go, step by step through my life's journey, even though I'm not going to go year by year. I'm going to go, section by section, time period by time period, like maybe childhood and so on, and allow you to see with these different things, my own personal experiences so you can have a first hand account. I'm also going to talk to my family and get their perspectives through conversation. What are they quoted as saying? How did they feel? How did they see this? Kind of like an interview, and I'm going to add it in like my brother sees it this way, my mom sees it this way, and my dad sees it this way. This is what they told me from their perspective. That way you see it um, through their perspective as well, even though it's not going to be a dual point of view, or triple point of view. It's going to be, simply from my point of view, but I'm going to tell you what they told me so you can maybe get a sense and picture in your mind what they've experienced and how they've felt over the years as well, along with my own. And that is what I plan to do. And again, I welcome all questions and comments. Please leave them. Please let me know what you think. What would you like to know, whether it be from my perspective, my mom's, my dad's, my brother's, and I'll try to ask them that and add that to the book so that you can see through all of our eyes, mine and theirs, and you can know, okay, this is how it's affected all of us, not just me, even though I'm the primary person that's affected. It's, it's affected all of us in different ways and to different extents. Because, someone's disability affects not only them, but those around them and those closest to them. And that is what I want everyone to know. We're all being affected here. And even all of society is affected by disabilities. It's just how do we all deal with it is the main issue. That's what matters. And, how do we deal with it in a way that's fair to everyone? And that's what I'm really getting at. And that's how I want to show you, if society would help us, then we would be able to help them. And society would listen to our stories and know who we truly are and how we best learn and what's best for each of us, then they would be able to help us get on our own 2 feet and truly be independent despite having our disabilities, which would enable us to then, use our skills and our talents that maybe they didn't know about beforehand, reveal them and use them in a way that benefits not only ourselves but society as well. And that's what I'm ultimately trying to do. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you on Monday for another video. Please like, share, subscribe, and feel free to leave questions and comments in the comment section. Bye, everyone.